It is Wednesday, June 28th, day 105 on the Appalachian Trail. Got out of camp early today, but 10 after 7 or so. And last night, we camped at Deer Lick shelters. There were 2 shelters actually. Supposedly, at this shelter and the next one, there are 2 shelters, one designated for snorers, the other for non-snorers. The only one sleeping in the shelter last night at this one was one lung. Just try put her tent up in the back, and I put my hammock up out in the front. And Morgan, another guy, came in later and put his tent up on one of the tent pads as well. But the most interesting story was the search for water. Far Out had talked about a stream nearby. Didn't know where that was. It said if the stream fails, there's a spring. I made the erroneous assumption that the stream has probably failed because every other stream that we'd crossed is pretty much not running. Small ones anyway. And so I went in search of the spring last night. It was getting dark. So I wandered down the Blue Blaze Trail and kept going. It said it was about a quarter mile. Came across kind of a muddy spot in the trail, stepped across that, and then just kept going. It was a well-worn trail. Just kept going and going and going and going. It was starting to get dark, and finally pulled out my Far Out app on my phone. Discovered that I was way off trail, way past. I'd probably hiked at least a half a mile, if not more. So I made my way back, kind of in the dark, and found that the muddy spot in the trail was the spring. That was it. It was not running. Very disappointing. I made a note in the Far Out comments about that. And then proceeded to go back and figure out how to ration my water for that last night and this morning. Went ahead and had my oatmeal this morning and just had basically about half a cup of liquids left to drink, and started hiking. And Just Try was just ahead of me, and she said, "Hey, there's a stream right here, not more than 50 feet probably up trail to the north from the shelter. Was a stream that was actually running. Dang. And it had enough flow to get water." We both stopped. I filled both bottles. She just filled one. But I was surprised. Should have looked the other way. Shouldn't have made the assumption that the stream was dry. My mistake. Don't do that one again. Look for the stream first. So I had a long walk last night for naught. But anyway, water's filled. Supposedly, about 2.5 miles down the road, there's a park, and the state park. Someone's got a spigot for water as well. We just figured we were going to have to go down there to get water. But also, there's a fellow by the name of Tycoon, must be a trail name, who is doing trail magic, or supposedly doing trail magic, every morning in June from 8 o'clock until about 2-ish or so. So we're looking forward to perhaps getting some trail magic in about an hour and a half. That would be awesome. So the trail is pretty friendly right now. There are some uphills, but most of it is downhill, but I just hope that it's not rocky like it was yesterday. Yesterday's trail was not always very friendly, sometimes very unfriendly. In fact, today, not so bad. And of course, it was the rain last night. About an hour before I got to camp, the skies just opened up and dumped water. Water was running down the trail, and trying to sidestep that, and didn't work very well. Had my umbrella out. That kept me, semi-dry, but it was blowing a little bit too, so it was coming underneath it. Everything was wet. But fortunately, by the time I got around to putting my tarp up, it had stopped. So my tarp was dry this morning, and didn't have to worry about carrying extra water weight with that. All right, it's a beautiful morning. No breeze, but it's nice and cool. I didn't check my thermometer when I left, but it's probably low 60s, low to mid 60s. Feels comfortable, feels nice. Shirt's starting to dry out. You could always put them on wet anyway, and you just kind of get used to that. Keep watching the trail, not watching where the camera's at here. Sorry about that. All right. Well, there's a few rocks up ahead, so probably better pay attention to my footing so I don't do a face plant and regretting that. All right, we'll see if we get inspired to do any more later on. The goal tonight is Fayetteville. Have a reservation at Thru Hostel. And Wednesday nights is free dinner night. Woohoo! So this is Wednesday. Yes. When I called the reservation, or to make the reservation, Reverend Beal, I guess was the guy, said, "Are you planning on being there for the meal?" And I said, "That's the plan." So hopefully he's counting on me. Also, interestingly enough, I didn't think I was going to be able to make use of this referral, but one of my former work colleagues, Dustin, at the Dan Abram Healthy Living Center there in Rochester, has a sister who lives in Chambersburg, which is adjacent to Fayetteville, which is where this hostel is at, just right off the trail. And Dustin had said, she'd be happy to help you with whatever you need, if you need some help. And I contacted her, I think, by text earlier and just introduced myself. Called her yesterday, 2 days ago actually, and said, "Hey, I'm 2 days out of Chambersburg. I'm going to be staying at this hostel. Would you be able to give me a ride to the Walmart store for resupply?" And she said, "Oh yeah, absolutely. I live right close to the Walmart store." Awesome. Dustin, thank you. I appreciate your sister's help, and you're referring me to her as a possible resource on the trail. Yeah, it's nice to know people who know people, and that comes in really handy, especially on the trail and anywhere in life as well. So, that being said, time to push on. Patriarch here saying, stay green, keep growing. It's a beautiful day. Hope you're enjoying it too. When you're low on water, this is always a very welcome sight. Here's the bridge I just came across. Yeah, water. Oh yeah, essential element